Hi everyone, Lisa Song Sutton here for Rebel News. I am so excited to introduce to you a good friend of mine, Murray Sawchuk. He's a famous magician, a YouTube star, and also a Las Vegas Strip headliner. He has been speaking out recently about the need for the entertainment community to come back in a safe manner and to be able to perform shows again. He brings up some really great points, and I'm excited to show you the interview that I did with him talking about the support that we have for the entertainment community here in Las Vegas. Hi, Murray. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, how you doing, Lacey? You good?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great.
So I saw your post on social media speaking out about the importance of the entertainment community coming back safely. What inspired you to even post about it?
I think a few people have asked me over the last 5 months to voice my opinion. I'm opinionated, but I'm not publicly opinionated. You know, I have my own opinions, my friends and family and all that. And even if you look at any of my social medias, from everything I do, it's usually based on entertainment because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought after the last 5 months, I watched a few other entertainers in town like Wally Eastwood and a few other, guys that have been in this town and women that have been in this town for a long time. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, it's been about 5 months now. I kind of have a bit more of an opinion. I've kind of seen a few things, and I'm on the Strip. I work in two different hotels in shows,
Mm-hmm.
and I've toured all my life for 30 years, so I do have an opinion. And you start to weigh things out a little bit, and it's nothing political.
Mm-hmm.
It's just opinion, and I'm just comparing literally apples to oranges, and they're just not. In my opinion, the longer we go on, we're just not comparing them equally. We're comparing apples to wrenches, and apples
Right.
to bicycle wheels. It makes sense. You can't compare those two together.
Absolutely, because we have casinos open, right? We
Yeah.
have restaurants open where patrons can go and dine, safely with certain protocols that are in place. Um, I was just on a flight to go visit my parents down in Arizona, and the middle seat was off limits. So, I was seated, whatever it is, maybe 6, 8 inches away from the next person, right? And everyone had to wear masks. So, what's the difference between sitting on a Southwest flight with a seat in the middle and seated to watch one of your shows on the Strip?
Yeah, and that's the argument, And I know everyone's going
Mm-hmm.
essential, essential, essential. And do we need entertainment to live and to breathe? No, we need food and water and air. That's kind of how we operate.
Right.
But if you want to enjoy your life, you need a lot more things. And I think it's gone past that because everyone's leaning on the safety. Let's do it properly. Well, bars and restaurants don't need to be open if theaters can't be open. And I know every restaurant owner hates me for saying that right now. And I'm only comparing it because we're the same venue. We don't need to go to a restaurant and eat. My grandparents picked vegetable garden and cooked every night. They never went to a restaurant. They were lucky if they went once a year for their anniversary because they didn't have that kind of money or accessibility. They grew up in a very, very small town.
Mm-hmm.
You just eat food in your home or in your tent or your trailer or your mansion or whatever. So when you start seeing things like this, and I've flown quite a bit over the last 5 months, and I flew United and American for a week in New York and now 3 weeks here in Canada, my home country, and I'm sitting 2 inches beside somebody. I don't mind. I wear a mask. I'm taking my vitamins, and it's my own life, so I'm taking a risk if I wish to or not. I did
Mm-hmm.
I did a COVID test before I hopped on the plane. I'm
Mm-hmm.
being very cautious. If I wasn't feeling well, I wouldn't get on a plane or I wouldn't go into a venue like that for other people's sake, let alone
Mm-hmm.
my sake.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can have bars open where we're trying to curb the rules, meaning you can't sit at the bar, but if you push a high top table to the bar and have two
Mm-hmm.
people sit at the high top, it's not a bar. So we're all getting around these hooks. And I know these restaurateurs got to stay alive as well. So why can't we have one row full, one row empty, one row full, or one row, 2 rows, one row, and then 2, 4, and 6 people, in groups in a theater? You can easily do that, the same as you can board a plane, the same as you can go to a restaurant. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
to go to a restaurant. It's not essential to go eat. You don't need to fly. It's not essential to fly. You can go
Mm-hmm.
back to stagecoach and horses. You can go back to driving your car. You can take a boat around the world, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Independently. You don't need to hop in a plane if you want to talk about essential. If we really are going to save this world from this horrible disease, these are things that then if that's not allowed or that is allowed, then theaters should be open because they're no different, And
Mm-hmm.
Vegas, Chicago, New York, West End, these are massive areas that the reason people go there is for entertainment. It's the same reason people go to other places like Wall Street to go and do banking.
Sure.
So it is.
Well, which is arguably essential, right? I mean, to your point, this entire, the entertainment industry, which obviously makes a huge impact here in Las Vegas and our local economy, it's arguable that it is essential because that is your livelihood, right? It's how you make a living. It's how you earn a living. And so to be prevented, to be able to not work and being told that, then, what is the line? What is considered essential and what's not if people have to make a living and make a livelihood?
100%. Essential means feeding your family, feeding yourself, feeding you. And that's essential to me. And however I do it, whether I'm a marine biologist, chiropractor, firefighter, doctor, janitor, teacher, we've chosen those careers to go, you know what, that's the quality of life I would like from that income that I can generate from that avenue I decide to go on. And that's why I've chosen it. And so how is someone to tell us that that's not essential? Because it is essential to our lives because we decide to commit to do it for 30 or 40 or 50 years. And being a magician or a clown or a juggler or a singer is not easy. A doctor either, and neither is a lawyer. None of that is easy. Nothing's really easy. But one of those things is, I got friends who are nurses and doctors, and they're being laid off because there's not enough people going in for work because they're either scared to go in because of COVID. Or they just don't need them right now because, and that's not good either. And there's a job that you can usually depend on, being a nurse, being a doctor. That's a go-to,
What is your message to people in the entertainment community who may be discouraged?
Well, my message is hang in there because, first of all, entertainment isn't for the weak of heart. You know what I mean? It's a tough business. It's lovely. When you're rocking and rolling and people are loving you and they're paying you a lot of money, it is an unbelievable business. You're on top. But it's not always like that. It's not consistent, and you're not always going to have a hit album or a hit TV show to be on or whatever the case is. But that's what makes us unique. If you can hang in there and work as hard like you did to get there already, this will pass as well. It's going to be a year and a half to get over to 2 years, but if you can get past this, it's going to be amazing to begin with because there's going to be a lot of people that can't handle this and are going to go back to a regular job, which is just fine. Whether it be working at Home Depot or Starbucks or Post Office, something very solid where you can guarantee an income and a medical plan and maybe a 401k. And nothing's wrong with that. That's a great way to live. There's days where I wake up and go, you know what, maybe I'll go down to Home Depot because I like tools and I get a paycheck. If the building burns, I don't need to worry about it. All my life, I've always had to be worried about my burning building since I was 12 years old. I've always worked for myself. So I think for people who are out there, I always say hang in there because the ones that can't handle it will drop off, and there's going to be a lot more room for growth. And that's just life. I'm not saying that to be mean. You know what I mean? That's just the way life works sometimes. And so it's kind of like having a forest fire, and if you're a tree in that forest fire, hang in there to the last minute because the fire just may go around you. And you may be able to brush the soot off, grow a few more branches, and keep growing. And you'll be that one tall tree in the middle of those little trees because somehow the wind blew right or it rained on you a little more and you were lucky to get through it. And I use metaphors for a lot of things in life, but I feel like that is what you have to do. And the strongest ones will survive because getting into the business wasn't that easy either. You know what I mean? So it's just another rebirth of working hard, hang in there. And at the end, in 5 years from now, we're going to look back and go, wow, remember 2020? That was a hell of a year.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for those encouraging words and, of course, sharing your thoughts with us. And Murray, how can we keep up with you on social media?
You can always find me everywhere. On Instagram, it's Murray Sawchuk. And then on my YouTube is Magic Murray and then Murray the Magician. But my main website has everything. It's murraymagic.com. You can always find me there or Google me, and you're going to see more than you ever want to see on me ever. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Murray.
Thanks for watching. This is Lisa Song Sutton for Rebel News. Head over to support us at rebelnews.com.